Welcome back, dear viewers, and we have with us our first guest of the evening, Hamza Taqi, Master Performance Consultant. Welcome, Hamza. It's really a pleasure to have you here.
The pleasure is all mine. I'm always grateful to be with you.
I'm glad. So in terms of today's topic, can you give us a little bit background on it?
Well, today the topic is about attitude, and one can have two attitudes, either negative attitude or positive attitude. So basically, having it's a choice. It's a choice, and attitude becomes ingrained in us. It becomes like habit. We do it without thinking. But before that, it starts with a thought. It's the way we think. It's our mindset. And if we can very easily change our thoughts, but we cannot change our attitude, the attitude becomes too difficult to change. So it's better to focus on the thought and observe the type of thoughts that we're thinking of.
That's very well put. So now in terms of having this positive thought, trying to be more optimistic, because our attitudes impact how we deal with people, how we show up for work, all of these things, right?
Yes.
So how
it's our life.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how can we show up with a better positive attitude?
Basically, we need to really, to know. Once you know, and then once you know, you need to practice and apply the knowledge, and then you see that you experience it, and you see how different life it is. There are people who live in a good world. There are people who see the world as a bad world, but it's the same world. But two different people look at it in a different way, and it's mainly because of external stimuli that comes to us, and the response that we see from within. And if you're used to seeing the negative stuff, always, looking for the bad stuff, your life will be bad, and your world will be bad, and in the same world, someone else will see life as beautiful and nice and good, and he's living, he's seeing, he's experiencing life. He will see it or she will see it in a different world, although it's the same world. So it's the attitude, it's the way we think, our mindset.
I think that's very interesting that people can live in the same moment, in the same world, and have it be so different.
It is
dark
amazing.
Or light.
It is amazing. It's interesting. It's like one situation, different people will respond to it differently.
Right.
Like, for example, if there is a major accident, one person will come to that scene and they will check, how the speed is and how the car is. They have a policing background. Another person will come and they will check the pulse of the victims, and so they have a different background, their medical background. Absolutely. And somebody might be crying or something because they are having a relationship with that victim. Yes. So it's one situation, but each one of us, and that's the uniqueness of life,
Absolutely. So then in these cases, for example, the example you just gave us, if one wants to approach it with a positive attitude, will it change the results or the impact? Could you tell us?
It will not change the result. It will change how we respond to the result, because it is what it is. It happened. You cannot change it, but how you see that, and you look at yourself and you say, what can I learn from this? Although if I'm the victim, I had the accident, what happened? Was I absent-minded? Was I overthinking? Right. Was I playing with my phone or with the car? Or I lost, my attention on the road. I wasn't present. So I learn from it. It's always a learning lesson.
Absolutely. I think we learn a lot from all of our experiences. And
Yes.
I think I remember this quote where, if you worry, then you basically are worried twice if the negative thing happens.
Yeah. And if it doesn't happen,
you're
worried.
For nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So then now this brings us to the other side of the coin. If someone shows up with this negative attitude, negative thought and mindset, how does this impact the quality of their lives?
Dramatically, in a negative sense. But I'd like to talk about, I think everybody knows the negative, because see, when you are dealing with anybody, if they have a negative attitude, you kind of want to, avoid them.
Right.
If they're at work, if you see them every day, they're your colleague at work, or better yet, at the family. So how because they could be, energy vampire. They can take your energy, and you end up with a low energy, and you don't know from where. So you need to deal with them accordingly. But what happened to the brain is even worse.
Oh.
Is even, you know, when you before I thought attitude means, you know, when I take action. For example, when I hurt somebody with my hand, or when I say a bad word as an energy to a person. But then I learned it's only even the thought that comes through my mind. I have to control it. I have to not control it. I cannot control it, but I have to see if it's valid for me or not. Is it according to my values, my or not? And sometimes, you know, just let it go. Don't mind your mind. We sometimes, you know, worry too much, thinking about the future or regretting the past, and we go into this vicious cycle of negative, and we see we're always complaining, and it becomes our trait. It becomes our habits.
Yeah.
And you see people are always complaining. In the summer, they complain about
it's
the
too
heat.
hot.
In the winter, they say it's too cold. You know, wherever they are, they always find a way, because it becomes a habit. It becomes ingrained in them. And they will go into that vicious cycle forever. They need to stop it somehow by taking a deep breath and seeing the world from a different dimension, from a different perspective. Look inward, see what you have in terms of powers and how God created you, and you know that God is there. You know, God created us. He selected us to be in planet Earth. So give them all these worries that you have. He will take care of you. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
That's such a beautiful way to put it, because truly, sometimes we forget that how we live reflects in our values and our spirituality as well.
Course.
And it's beautiful how you put it, where sometimes we need to put things into perspective. Which leads me to the next question. How can we help people promote a more positive attitude to help with work and life?
Yes, if you're doing it for a long time, then it is, you know, as we said, ingrained or programmed. Then you need to do a lot of work. Basically, by being an observant, by you know, observing your thoughts, and you know, just you know, sit in silence with yourself, especially in the morning. In the morning, that's why we have Salat al-Fajr or Fajr prayer. You start your day. The way you start your day, it will make your day. So from the beginning, some people, they wake up on a snooze or on the alarm, and they say, "Oh my God, I'm going to work, or I'm going to do this." So they already gave themselves this kind of feeling, the negative feeling, the negative emotions. So their day will be ruined. But instead, you know, look at it differently and say, Alhamdulillah, I'm alive, I'm still breathing, I have my strength, I can get up, I can do things, I can create. It's always in the mind, and the mind always creates and evaluates, and always wants us to go either positive or negative. The brain gives us certain chemicals based on purely the way we think. So if I think in a positive way, immediately my brain will give the kind of hormone or chemicals that you know, makes you feel dopamine. You know, makes you feel good, and makes you feel, you know, and that dopamine makes your focus or work, your brain work on the frontal lobe, frontal vortex. This will it's the decision making, it's the problem solving, it's the thinking brain, and when you are in a positive mode, you always able to solve problem and see things in a positive way, and there is always a solution. On the opposite, if we are thinking in a negative way, we get the chemical called cortisol.
Right.
And that is for fight and flight. So this you know, our intellect will stop. It goes to our primitive brain, where we want to fight or flight because we are scared. It comes from fear. And that cortisol that comes and pumped into our body is not healthy for us.
Absolutely.
And we will not be able to function and to create and become innovative. So always, you know, look at it, look at both ways. What do you want? You want to be happy and innovative and creative. You want to, have beautiful relationship, good relationship with your co-workers, with your bosses, with your employees, with the community, with the world. So always, check your thoughts and be alert. And I always use the anchor breathing. So whenever I take a deep breath, I focus and what am I thinking? Why am I thinking that way? And
I love that curiosity.
Yeah. Yes. But don't dwell about it because it can take you somewhere. But let it pass. Check if it's good for me, good for my values, good for my adventure. Yes, take
Absolutely.
it. If it's not, just let it pass.
That's
and
excellent.
go to your focus. Yeah.
That's excellent. I think you brought up a really important difference between what happens to the chemicals in the brain and the body with positive attitude and negative. Because people seem to think life is life, just think whatever you want, but they don't realize it affects their quality of life.
They believe in this is the nature. That's natural that they believe in they are negative. It's
right.
natural.
It's natural.
I'm used to. I can't change. I get angry. What do you mean you get angry? I mean, this is me, they say. And once they say this is me, obviously they're saying we don't want to change.
Correct. Yeah. So now, which leads me this, there was something I heard you mention that was linked to positive attitude. You linked it with gratitude.
Yes.
So now, what is the impact of having gratitude with positive attitude? How does this help us?
It basically, it make you, it make your thoughts positive, and it becomes more, your feeling, your emotion become much better. You're more, but just thinking of, for example, like you have an appointment and you're telling yourself, I'm going to be late, I'm late. What's the feeling? What's the inside
anxiety?
Your body? Yeah, it's not good. But if you say, no, I'm going to make it, it's okay. Even if I'm late 5 minutes, they will understand. Let me do my best. I might not be late. I might be, in time. So, having those thoughts and identifying them and changing the thoughts to a more positive approach is like, it's like you are saying to the Creator, God, Allah, Rahman, that I believe in you. I not believe, I know you. Exactly. Not even more than believe. I know that you will take care of me. And when you come from that kind of spiritual connection, you'll have strength. You will not have fear.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's so important for people to remember. And now this leads me to the next part. We have to be kind to ourselves just as much as we have to be kind to others, right? So how do we practice self-compassion? I'm sure this has something to do with the attitude as well.
Yes. Because it's effective. Because it's all about self-awareness, love, self-compassion, and basically, again, we don't sit by ourselves. Yeah. Some people are scared to sit by themselves, and they sit maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then they wanna go to their routine. They wanna go to their mobile. They wanna go to their TV. They wanna go to their email or whatever. But try to train yourself to sit in silence for 10 minutes early in the morning, and try to connect with God, and sit in silence and clear yourself, and think of all the things that you have. You'll find there are abundance. There is no limitation. We put the limitation on ourselves, even by our thoughts. We say, I can't do it. And when you say you can do it, you will not be able to do it. So that is, I think, just shifting the mindset toward, inward and being in silent and checking on the values that we have and the purpose. We are all unique, right?
100%.
We're all different. I mean, you have kids in the same school, the same parents, the same everything. They're totally different. This is the uniqueness of life, and that tells me that each one of us have a purpose in this life. Just identify your purpose. Sometimes we don't know anything about ourselves. We know a lot about others. We know a lot about celebrities, about
exactly our surroundings, people that we know.
Yeah, but we don't know ourselves. So it's good to go into ourselves, especially in the morning, to start your day in a positive mood, in a positive way. Smile. the smile, and gives you a lot of good energy to conquer the world, to conquer any obstacles. And obstacles, they are really, you know, if you look at them differently, if you change the way you look at things, the things change. Obstacles are there to help us grow, to help us, you know, become stronger, like, you know, going to the gym, but spiritually and, you know, mind fully, to be, you know, aware and conscious. You know, because, you know, when you're negative, you tend to blame others, you tend to see others at fault, and you become like, no, you are, everything is what you say is right. And if somebody says something conflicting to your opinion, you start, you know, reacting and screaming. And really, I used to think this is strength. Oh, this guy is strong. You know, he stands for his right and for his opinion. But then I found out it's a weakness. It's a weakness when you scream. It's a weakness. That means you don't have any logic of what you're saying. So what you do, you scream. And especially, you know, between spouses, sometimes the man thinks that, you know, if he screams, he is the right person.
Yeah, whoever screams the loudest is the correct person.
Yes.
This happens a lot, and I think it's very valuable what you've shared with us today, because as you know, the weather is changing, times are changing, everything's happening so quickly. It's important to remember that we need to have a level of self-awareness and self-compassion as well. So is there any last advice you'd like to leave with our viewers?
Well, I would like to tell our viewers that, you know, life is they say sometimes life is short. I say no, life is, every day there is a new life. Every day there is a new life, and don't think that, you know, it's the end of the world. There is always a new page to open and a new life to open for you. Just be patient and go inward, as we said, and have faith in yourself and in God that, you know, things will be better. And have a good purpose to help others, to service humanity, and Allah will put you on the right path. It will help you if you have really, you know, the right intention. I hope you all have the right intention.
Well, we hope that, absolutely. Thank you so much for giving us your time this evening and your valuable insight. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you, my friend. The pleasure is all mine.
And there you had it, ladies and gentlemen, our dear viewers. We had with us Hamza Taqi, Master Performance Consultant, on the thoughts of positive attitude and mindset. So please stay tuned for this upcoming report, and we'll come back shortly.